should we talk about Kambo? Kambo. Today episode is about my 3 session of Kambo, indigenous medicine, frog poison. I took 3 times. I took my last session 2 weeks ago, I believe. So I'm ready to talk about it. Let's do it. Okay, let's start with it, Kambo. I'm not going to pretend that I'm so smart and I keep all this information in my head. I don't store information in my head. I keep space for new ideas, as they like to say. I just honestly, I don't have that ability, and I finally acknowledge it and accepted in myself that I just, I always admire people who have so much knowledge stored and can just drop names, drop dates, drop situation. And it's not me, never will be me. My brain doesn't work that way. Doesn't mean I'm a worse person. I connect the dots in a different way. I bring something different to the table. I wish I had this beautiful ability to be a name, date, history, facts, people, names dropper, but I am not. So, Campbell, as Wikipedia tells us, known as sapo, from Portuguese, sapo, toad, or vaccina do sapo, is a substance derived from a natural secretion of a amphibian belonging to the Philomedusa family. It seems like my reading is also not the best. Commonly, the dry skin secretations of the giant leaf frog. So basically, it's a poison that is taken out from a frog in the Amazon. And it's used for ritual purposes with a strong religious and spiritual components. What else? Kambo is usually used in group setting. It's called Kambo circle, Kambo ceremony. The effects of it, we can talk about it. But basically, Kambo is known as this indigenous natural medicine that has a potential to heal different physical symptoms and issues. And as usual, prefacing episode like this, I'm not a proponent for you to try it. I'm not inviting you to try it. I'm just sharing my experience. If you feel called or you feel like want to try it, make sure to contact appropriate professionals, doctors before, to make sure you are ready and your body is ready and in a good shape, and also find appropriate and safe professional who will be sharing this natural medicine with you. Again, I'm not proponing to use it for everyone, not inviting you and pushing you for it. It needs to be done with assistance of professionals around you, right? People who know and make sure that your body is in a good place. So I'm not promoting it. I'm just sharing my experience. So why I did it. I did it, of course, because I'm a curious person, and I am on this, way for several years now, for really 10 years almost, of healing myself, of growth, or of expanding myself. And I strongly believe in more natural medicine routes. And I also believe in this fact that I feel good now, right? I feel like a lot of my healing is done. I know my triggers, I know my pains, I know a lot of things, but I'm also interested in this idea of proactive healing, right? So not going to the doctor, not doing things when we feel the pain, when we get to the stage that it's really our body asks for attention, but really proactively trying and taking care of our body. And really, that was my intention with Kambo. I felt like, oh, should I even do it? There's nothing really super painful. There are small things I was dealing with, which I was addressing with my energy healing, my self energy healing. but I was just curious and I wanted to try it. So that's why I did it. And my first ceremony was in a group, and it was a really interesting experience. So I had some inflammation in my leg, one leg, and in my and overall I felt a little bit of the inflammation, which after which after the first session was completely gone, which was really interesting. And so the first session was in the group. So basically the practitioner burns this little dots on your body, and then puts one dot. Usually it's a small amount of dots, like 2 to 3, puts on one dot the burned out the medicine, the poison, and then see your reaction. And if everything, you don't feel super kind of uncomfortable, and your reaction is not overwhelmingly alarming, then the practitioner puts the poison, the frog poison, and in other dots. First time I did 3 dots on my back. That's what I felt like I want to have it. You kind of decide where you want to put this medicine on. And the experience itself was really interesting because, usually people purge and everybody in the group purged, and I didn't. And I just felt maybe heart palpitation. I felt a lot of I felt like there was this almost um, a little spiders walking in my body and just healing it, healing it, healing. They were just looking for spots that are need to be adjusted and fixed. So again, I felt heat. I felt a lot of heat and a lot of heart palpitation, but I wasn't throwing up. And felt really good after. The whole ceremony takes around 20 minutes with a little, prep meditation prior. You can eat that morning prior to several hours prior to ceremony. And yeah, and I didn't throw up. But then when I went home, on the way home, I bought coffee because I couldn't have it before. And Adam picked me up, and the minute I drink the coffee, I start throwing up. And I was throwing up for 2 days. I had a gigantic headache. I could not look at coffee. I think the headache came from finally releasing coffee and being and having this coffee headache, kind of detox from coffee. But I was really throwing up for 2 days. But after, I felt great. I felt very rejuvenated. I felt very motivated, very energized, very, like I said, my pain in my leg, which wasn't severe, and a little bit in my hands completely disappeared. And I felt really, really good. So then I decided to do second session. I knew that I will do 3 when I started it. So the second session I decided to do by myself, and I took 4 dots on my leg. No, actually, first was on my leg, then was on my arm. On my arm, in that session, I was alone, and I was, completely purging, throwing up. And it was so interesting because I talked to the person who was doing this session with me about my first session, and we thought that, how I am constructed is I want to make sure that everything is safe, then I can take care of myself. It's kind of the dynamic and this people pleasing, making sure everything is safe around me, dynamic and pattern from my childhood. So that's why I wasn't throwing up. I was kind of holding myself so everybody can go through the experience. And then I went home and I started purging. But anyway, second session definitely was really intense. And afterwards, I felt right away, oh my God, so much positive energy. My body was so rejuvenated. My body was so again, completely pain in my leg, completely gone. I feel like my inflammation was lower. Again, since the first ceremony, no coffee for me. I cannot look at coffee. The smell is not, before when I smelled coffee, I was like, morning ritual. No, I can't even smell it. I am drinking mushroom coffee right now, which I can share. I finally found a brand and a type that tastes really well. And I felt completely energized um, couple days after I was painting the girl's room, and then just have so much clarity, so much energy, and it was an amazing experience. Third time, it was really, I decided to do it on my hip, the dots. I also went with four, um, and uh, and really could not purge, could not during the session. I felt heat, I felt heart palpitation, but felt nausea, but there was something stuck. And it was really interesting because when I went home, I went to this like a really down moment. I had really like a episode of darkness, and it's kind of like it felt like I could not digest what this medicine pulled out. But then a lot of insights and a lot of things connected, and I think I was finally able to see what I couldn't during the session. I couldn't purge, if that makes any sense. So yes, I think definitely combo again. I'm not inviting you to, if you decide to do it by yourself, connect with your, doctor, make sure your body is healthy, in a good shape. Make sure you find a person who is trained and knowledgeable about the medicine. I think Kambo I can see is amazing for anybody who is dealing with any disease, like a physical disease. Like ayahuasca, I felt is more spiritual mind healing. I think this medicine, it's all connected, obviously. So if your body heals, there's something um, coming up will come up, in your mind and in your psyche. If something unblocks with your body, heals with your body, it's automatically going to affect your psyche and mind. I think with ayahuasca it's opposite. It's like through mind heal the body. Here with Kambo is through body heal the mind, kind of, if that makes sense. That's how it felt to me. But I think it would be great. Again, I'm not inviting anybody. I'm not recommending contact appropriate professionals prior. But it would be great for somebody with chronic disease. I know that a lot of people with cancer, with immune system disorders use that, and I think that would be really, really helpful for somebody with dealing with somebody like that, or not really deep issues, right? Like my inflammation, or pain in one leg that I broke several times, and now I feel repercussion of that, or I twisted it several times, and now feel repercussion of that as I'm getting older. And again, this leg feels great. So again, like I said, I felt like ketamine and ayahuasca were more like healing your mind, expanding, growing your mind, connecting the dots through the mind that affects your body. Here, it's more body is affected through this poisonous medicine, and 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 then the effects are coming to the mind. What else? So the story, I love the story where Campbell came from. The person who administered it to me told me that there was this indigenous tribe in Amazon that was, everybody were getting sick and dying, and shamans could not find a cure. And finally, they found this poisonous. Somebody gave this poisonous frog venom, uh, and people started healing in that tribe. That finally was helpful. So that's how this medicine came about. Um, Again, very interesting experience. I feel, after this 2 weeks last one, and after even this dark moment, when I finally was able to integrate that session again, uh, I kind of thought through things, some dot finally connected. I feel my body is much better. But it was just each time was a different experience, which is also really, really interesting. Completely different experience. So that was Kambo. If you have any question, let me know. Again, I'm not a proponent of those things. I'm not promoting them. I'm not inviting you to try. I'm sharing my experience as a curious person, as something who tried something that see positive effects. I think Kambo is a little more dangerous than ayahuasca or ketamine for sure. So, if you decide after connecting with your medical doctor, making sure your body is here and good for that, in a good shape, as good as possible, make sure you find somebody who is trained, well trained, and know what they are doing. Because I don't know, I felt with the heart palpitation, with this heat, it's just intense. And even though you deal with disease, right, like overall, like your heart needs to be in a good shape, I feel like. And there needs to be some level of strength in the body to do that medicine. Let me know if you have any questions. Very interesting experience. Do I think I'm going to try it again? I don't think so. We'll see. Never say never. But like with ayahuasca, I feel like even with ayahuasca now, I don't think so. I want to continue trying those. It was just great experience to and privilege to be able to understand how those medicines work, and obviously privileged to share it with you. But that's that. So here is Kambo for you. Until the next time, love and light. Below is my links to all things I do. And if you like this podcast, you can support me on Patreon so I can make more episodes for you. Love and light.